I love bread. I eat it every day. That's why I'm here to say I love bread. I love bread. A baguette for a bun. Nothing is as fun as bread. Yum, yum, yummity, yum. Gotta get my tummy tongue. This party needs a kick. Let's get some breadsticks. In the club or on the street. Bread's all I want to eat. B-R-E-A-D. I love bread and bread loves me. B-R-E-A-D. I love bread and bread loves me. You know what else I love besides bread and everyone out there is my dad, my grandfather, my uncle, my swim coach. He's a great swim coach. And today we are going to start. Oh, I got to keep this a secret. We have to keep this on the down low because in 2 Sundays is going to be Father's Day. And you will decide out there, Rockin' Readers, who will you make your Father's Day card for? It could be for your dad, your grandpa, your uncle, or maybe that coach out there that just looks out after you. Oh, what was that, Shawnee, Elliot, and Reagan, and Anna? Oh, and Maeve and Paige, where is Baby Yoda and Darth Vader? Ooh. Oh no. You're right. I gotta flip my card. I was yelling. My mom's downstairs, so I gotta be a little bit quieter. Those guys are working on their stamina. As you can see, it's getting better. But on this day, when we went outside on the slip and slide and we came back in, they couldn't focus. But it happens. But look it, they learned from their mistake and they kept going. They kept going. So they're working on that right behind that door. So I better just be a little bit more quieter. I don't want to break their stamina. All right, Rockin' Readers, let's get to this. How can we make a special card for our dad, grandpa, or uncle with the text? Well, today's focus is going to help you when, as a reader, when you make a personal connection to the text based on your own life, that is called a text to self connection. And that text self connection is going to help us create something special for Father's Day. But remember, keep it on the down low. It's Sunday, June 21st, in 2 Sundays. So let's get right to it. Right to it. Because I'm your dad. Because I'm Your Dad, written by Emmett Zappa, illustrated by Dan Santon. This book is dedicated for my little monster. Because I'm your dad, you're going to get tricked. Because I'm your dad, you might have an unusual first name. Because I'm your dad, you can have spaghetti for breakfast, French toast for dinner, and a Rocky Road ice cream in the bathtub. Because I'm your dad, you'll grow up knowing robots are cool, but monsters are even cooler. Because I'm your dad, I'll always play rock music for you loud. And because I'm your dad, I'll buy you your very own drum set to rock out on. Because I'm your dad, I'll make sure you know how to pogo stick. And we'll make mud forts in the backyard. I'll go to all your soccer games, even when they're far away. And when you fall asleep in the back seat, I'll carry you inside. Because I'm your dad, I'm going to teach you how to burp like a champion. Burp. And I'll make sure your Halloween costume is always awesome. Because I'm your dad, you might miss a few days of school when I take you to New York for a hot dog. or to Australia to see a platypus. There's a platypus right there. Because I'm your dad, I will miss you so much when I'm away. And I promise to bring you back big surprises. Because I'm your dad, I'll always find you. Because I'm your dad, you can sometimes stay up late with me to watch TV, and I'll roll you up in a blanket like you're a burrito. I may also nibble on your toes because they're so cute. Because I'm your dad, I'll make up funny stories for you at bedtime. Because I'm your dad, I will always make you feel safe. I'm your dad, and I'll do all these things for you and more. Because that's what my dad did for me. There's the brain teaser, just a picture. Now, let's stop and think. Our focus for today is to make a text to self connection. And those text to self connections are going to help me think of one word to describe it. One word to describe it. And we also know describing words are adjectives. So the best way to do this is what, rockin' readers? What should I do? Oh, yes. I heard a lot of you say back up and reread, back up and reread. So I'm going to back up and reread the text and stop and think about those personal connections, those text to text connections. So I'm going to back up and reread. So, because I'm your dad, you're going to get tickled. Because I'm your dad, you might have an unusual first name. Let me stop and think. My first name is Janine, and my name is very unusual. You don't hear it that often, and my dad actually picked my name for me. So, my text to self connection is that I have an unusual first name, and thinking about my dad, he was very smart to name me Janine. So, one describing word to this connection is smart. So, I'm going to write smart down. In these clouds that I have, I know you could see the S there. It's just a little bit mistake. And I'm going to show you in a moment why I have those clouds there. Now I got to keep going because I have one, two, three more clouds to fill with a text to text connection. So that was great. Let me keep back up and reread, back up and reread to get those text connections. Here we go. Because I'm your dad, you can have spaghetti for breakfast, French toast for dinner, and Rocky Road ice cream in the bathtub. Oh, I can't believe this. 2 in a row. I have another text to self connection because my dad is super cool. Because one time, don't tell my mom, we had the best dinner. He was so cool about this. We didn't have Rocky Road or French toast, but we had a very unique dinner like these characters did. And we got to have snow cones, the rainbow snow cones that are huge. And oh man, it was a sweet dinner. So that's very cool of him to make that dinner for us, for my brothers and I. So the next describing word based on a text to self connection is cool. So I'm going to write that in one of my clouds. So there's the word cool to describe my dad. But I have 2 more describing words to go. So I'm going to continue to back up and reread, back up and reread. Because I'm your dad, you'll grow up knowing robots are cool, but monsters are even cooler. Now, this illustration is actually really bringing forth a powerful connection to me, and so are the words. So my dad is so much fun. He's so much fun. We play together like they're doing in the text, like things that we do. We play golf, we ride our bikes, we definitely go swimming for sure. So the next describing word for my dad is that he is fun. so much fun to be with. So as you can see, I use my describing word right there based on my text to self connection. Oh, Lily, I heard you yell out to me. And Axel, you have one more. Keep back up and rereading. All right, I'm going to do this. This is for my dad. I got to stop, think, and stay focused. All right, here we go, rockin' readers. Because I'm your dad, I'll always play rock music for you loud. And because I'm your dad, I'll buy you your very own drum set to rock on. Even though I do like music, my dad prefers just to like chill a lot. So I really have no connection here, but that's cool. I'll just keep reading. Because I'm your dad, I'll make sure you know how to pogo stick and we'll make mud forts in the backyard. Wait a minute. I have a text to self connection here. Making mud forts in the backyard. That is so funny. And my dad is so funny. He makes tons of jokes. He plays pranks on my brothers and my mom and I. So my next describing word to the text to self connection is funny. He's a very funny guy. So I'm going to write funny. So now you can see, Rockin' Readers, based on my text to self connections, I was able to think of 4 describing words for my dad. He's smart, fun, he's cool, and very funny. But now we're just going to fast forward a little bit. In the Google Doc, there will be a video on how to draw a super dad. Now, in the video, the artist, his dad has a beard. And my dad doesn't have a beard, so I changed up the drawing a little bit. So when you watch the video, you could adjust the drawing based on who your dad is, or if you're doing it for your grandpa, or if you're doing it for your uncle or that special coach out there. So the power of magic. I already watched the video on how to draw a super dad, and here is my super dad. So, as you can see, my dad has blue eyes. He does have gray in his hair. He does love the Cubs, so I had to put in there. And also, since this is for Father's Day, in 2 weeks, remember, hide it somewhere safe. I wrote Happy Father's Day, and he loves emojis, so I put I love you. And also, you could see I used a lot of details when I colored, and I just I colored in my describing words based on my text to self connection. Oh, what was that out there? Oh, Miss Bells, I might not have paper, crayons, or markers. That's okay. In 2 Sundays, please just hug your dad or your grandpa or your uncle in your life and just tell them thank you. So make sure that you hug them, tell them thank you, and that you love them. Also in the Google Docs, if you do have paper and crayons and markers, there's also a fold one too for Father's Day, because I know how much second graders out there, you love the foldy ones based on this artist. So, rockin' readers out there, thank you for your time on how to create a card based on a text to self connection. Remember, you're going to use 4 describing words for your dad. Draw it and color it. If you don't have paper, just tell him and hug him. Remember, you could do your dad, grandpa, or uncle. And also in the Google Doc, I will have this story in here so you can make those connections. Or you could just stop and think about times in your life with that special someone and just write them down. All right. So thank you for your time today, Rockin' Readers. Miss Meeks, Miss Pillsbury, Miss Murphy, and myself, thank you for everything. Keep having fun. Keep working hard out there. Maybe go out and play in your hose if you have one, or just ride your bike and tell your mom and dad thank you for everything. And remember to just dance a while. It's fun to do. Everybody get some bread. Everybody get some bread. Bread, 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 bread. Everybody get some bread. Everybody get some bread. Everybody get some bread. Christopher Avanen. You are the best. Keep up the good work and hide your Father's Day card until Sunday, June 21st. All right. I'll see you dudes later. Thanks for everything. You're the best. I love bread.